Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Last time we finished Lothric Castle with the Grand Archives, and we're technically now able to finish the game. But of course there are a few areas left that we can still explore, and one of them is Archdragon Peak, which we will have a look at today. And the way this area has been hinted at is pretty cool, because we can see the structure in the background a few times in the game, right? Especially down here and in Iritha. And especially in a place like this, it's very obvious, it's like an eye-catcher in this place. It has something to do with these creatures over here. And then we can see it directly after Pond of Sullivan, where our focus is drawn to as well. I think it was Pond of Sullivan, yeah. Should be. Right after the boss fight. So, and right here, I think we... What did we get here? I think we got a pose here. Is that correct? Can't really remember, like, did we get... Maybe not. Maybe we get something else here, but... No, not sleep. You get that from... Maybe no pose over here. Maybe I'm misremembering things. But you could... No! Oh, right. We got the... No pose. We got the Dragon Torso Stone here. Right. And... people who know Dark Souls 1 and... Do these things exist in Dark Souls 2? Yes, you can transform into a probably the coolest dragon version of all games in Dark Souls 2. But you normally know, if you've played Dark Souls 1 at least, you know there is a dragon head stone as well. And in the case of this game, there are also two more stones, two enhanced stones of this one. But it's not completed, so you get a Dragon Torso Stone here. You can see like the remains of a dragon, or something at least, turned to stone over here. And then later on, like at the point you find this area, you don't know what to do here, but it has something to do with this area. It looks very out of place here, right? It's you don't see carpets and candles in the dungeon, at least not with these color schemes. Like the dungeon has a different color scheme. If we have a look here, it's more bluish, greenish, different colors than this one. And it's a bit warmer place, and it's facing the mountain over here, so you definitely need to do something over here, and you don't know what yet. And maybe at some point you will find out that we get the Path of the Dragon gesture, and it's like you're just sitting down like this. Okay, we got a gesture, but maybe, I don't know if there's something that hints at this, but maybe you draw the connection to this area. You definitely know that there's more to it, because the game devs wouldn't put a structure like this on the mountain if you couldn't do anything with it. It would be a waste of resources, right? So it has to do something with this place. It's kind of strange how you do it. I really like how they blur things out here, and the mountain seemingly comes a bit closer. And we hear a dragon screeching before the loading screen starts here. Very cool, very cool. A bit strange how we end up here. Because like we do a gesture, do we fall asleep? Apparently we fall asleep. Then we're teleporting over here. So is this just a dream, or is this physical teleportation? Probably physical teleportation, but still. I would like to see how this looks from a outsider's perspective. Like if someone falls asleep there or does this gesture, like the meditation gesture, and then all of a sudden teleports away. It would be cool to see. But yeah, now we're in a different area. And we have this whole area to explore. And I really like this area. It looks very, very gray. right? But what I like about this, we can finally see the sun. Like, it has a different vibe than other areas, I think. Like, sure, you can... Like, you have a similar weather, like a similar sunny day in, like... No, you don't, I think. This is the first time that we see the sun in this game completely, right? Even though there should be a dark sign right now in the sky. So maybe this is a different dimension? Who knows? But yeah, let's keep going here a little bit. What can we expect here? Here's the structure that we've seen from far away. Looks pretty cool. We have our first enemy over here, and we already know these enemies. Now it finally says it's Archdragon Peak. Like, we fought some of them already. Right? Where was it? Like, after Osiris, right? There were a few of these dragon dudes. I don't think... maybe I'm wrong there, but I can't remember if there is any mentions of this area before this area in any item description or something. And I know there is a storyline with whatever the deserter is called, like the crestfallen knight of this game. But I don't know when it triggers. Oh, they die a little bit delayed here. Kind of strange. Man, this weapon feels good. Maybe I take it back. Maybe the slight attack is pretty good. Especially if you had both instances. But yeah, let's see what we have here. I think there might be an item up there as well. I'm just looking around right now. Even though I don't care if I miss anything, but just to show you that there are items here. If for some reason you haven't played this game in a while or never touched it, and then watch it for some reason, I don't know. Ooh, that's pretty cool. We can see the moon and the sun at the same time. That's pretty neat. And we finally have a bonfire to this area. So far, what do we have here? Like, we are on a mountain, certainly. Pretty cool grey stones, and then like we have these towers of smaller stones. And I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe that's a false memory or something. But aren't these like pilgrimage pillars something that monks do maybe sometimes? It kind of feels that way. I mean, pilgrimage, sure. People are coming here to become dragons, I guess, or to join this dragon cult. Or maybe to become these snake-like things, whatever. I wonder why they're attacking me in that case. But yeah, over here we have an elevator that, of course, is not working. And it's pretty useless, to be honest. I will show you why in some time. It takes a while. And oh, no, I think... No, never mind. I need to turn something off here. For the upcoming boss, this one should be the right one, maybe? But yeah, let's keep going. Let me test something over here. Yeah, now it's working. Great. Okay, what do we have here? Right, we have a big one. Pretty scary big one. These are fairly dangerous. And yeah, they're dying delayed. As if this weapon deals like delayed damage for some reason. Huh. But yeah, so far we have two different types of enemies, like the smaller version of these snake creatures and a bigger version. And these are, I think, almost the only types of different creatures here. Almost. There are luckily a few more. But that's almost it. And of course we're getting the lightning clutch ring. Because lightning right here is very effective. If you know the lore, lightning is good against dragons. Right? Or I guess if you know the game. Yeah, let's open this gate. Kind of strange that it's closed. Why is it even closed? And why can you open it from the outside? That's probably the bigger question, right? Imagine someone would attack this place, then you don't want the enemy to open the gates from the outside, right? That's kind of strange. And so is the structure, to be honest. Like this pre-tower area. Very strange layout indeed. Oh well, doesn't matter. Let's enter this place. And visit our first boss of the day. And we can already see the second boss of the day. Probably the person who founded this place or who helped build this place. But yeah, here we have the something. What is it called? Ancient Wyvern, right. Let me turn off the HUD again. And you can fight this one like this. Maybe I should turn on the HUD a bit and turn down the sound effects. Like I can deal damage, not very reliably, and the problem here is the camera a bit, that it glitches around, but I can deal some damage to this thing. It's not like Yorn, where you almost have to use the Storm Ruler. If you hit its head, it's fairly weak. And as you can see, the camera is a nightmare here, especially around the head. It's really not pleasant to fight this thing like this. So let's don't do that. Pick up a few things. Because it's designed so that you go through this level, have the Wyvern as a some kind of level hazard, where you sometimes have to take cover from the fire and stuff. And then at the end you just do a plunge attack and he dies. Which is fairly unfortunate that you can kill a boss like this so easily, but that's still kind of cool, nonetheless. Usually I think you wouldn't be able to grab these items like that. You see what the problem here is, right? With the camera, holy shit. It's glitching around like hell. But okay, I can turn off the HUD now. What? It's like applying a damage over time effect now. But I'm seeing that the music is also quite loud here. So let's turn it down a bit as well. Otherwise you... Like, I don't know if you can understand me or not, to be honest. I just have the volume here. But yeah, this looks better. Okay. So, pretty straightforward. We have to get on top of that place where we already can see the developer message over there. So we have to go around this place. But I already can have a look at this place while we are technically fighting this boss. Oh, we can even see here, plunging attack. Okay. Kinda lame. That it tells us. I mean, it feels kinda obvious. But I don't know if they made the boss fight that unfun on purpose. Like, fighting him head-on without the plunging attack. Because it's not fun fighting the dragon like that. Right, your camera's being thrown around. Hitting the head only deals good damage and stuff like this. It's a very big enemy, so most of the time you don't really know what he's doing. Maybe he's stomping around and such. But yeah, not very fun. That's probably because of the fire. So they do this little struggling animation that sometimes happens if you kill enemies with fire. But yeah, so far this level is very linear. Luckily we have some verticality, otherwise it would be quite boring. Here we have our first somewhat bigger side path. And maybe like yeah, maybe we can jump on his head from here. No, doesn't look like it, but oh, over there's also a torch there. That's pretty well placed. Over here we have two paths leading up to this tower piece. And you definitely want to be careful here, fighting these big dragon creatures. Oh, they take quite a lot of damage. Ooh. Isn't there another one? I thought there was already also one with a chain, with the weird chain axe thing. Apparently not. Over there is one, I think, but for some reason I thought there were two of the big ones here instead of one. I'm not complaining though. But what we can obviously see here, this place is almost in ruins. Like, parts of it still stands, but other parts are destroyed. Yeah, this enemy is so annoying to fight, because the weapon, if they want to throw their weapon, first of all they have a very unusually long range, and it also hits you when he pulls the chain back. Of course you usually have to take cover at certain spots here. And this pillar is a good spot, for example. So, we're almost done. And they're doing a fairly nice thing after beating the boss. But also at the same time a very distracting and annoying piece, or thing, I should say. I feel like this is the first boss where beating the boss doesn't spawn a bonfire. At least not at the location where you would expect the bonfire to be, especially, like, I would expect there to be a bonfire in this spot right there, right? But nope, they've done it for the Dragon Slayer armor fight, but not for this one. Okay. Be careful, you can still fail this by not landing on its head, especially when the Vyron decides to do his fire attacks. Like, now is a good time to plunge. But you can easily just miss him and fall off. And that's not so good. But okay. Here we get the Dragon Head Stone. And now... oh. Now the cutscene triggers. You're being summoned again. Like the time when we beat Yorm the Giant, or the last of the four, or the last of the remaining Lords of Cinder. We're getting we got summoned by what's her name? By Emma. Now we get summoned by a snake dude with a bell, I guess. We can hear, like, this one is ringing a bell, and then they summon this thing. And you already know this armor set if you've played Dark Souls 2's first DLC, or if you've watched the my series on Dark Souls 2, the Drake Bloods. Usually there to kill and pillage. I guess they're Dragon Slayers. We're also getting bombarded by the snake dude with pretty cool magic. It's like a modified version of what is it called? Affinity, I think. Yeah, Affinity and some kind of deep soul attack or something. Right, they can also summon Havel, which is pretty cool. It's like the stronger version here. In total there are 3 different summons. At this spot I think only 2, but later on we will encounter another one who can summon NPCs, and that one will summon the 3rd version. But yeah, let's get rid of the snake guy before he summons too many. Very cool design. Sadly there are only 2 of these mages in this place. So this is probably the most, or the coolest part, or the coolest room of the entire game, I think. Just because there is, like, this is probably the most detailed room as well. Obviously it has some Middle Eastern vibes. At least this is how everything is always depicted in video games, right? If you have something taking place in the Middle East, you always have like the a deserty terrain, or like sandstone-ish kind of look to the stones. Similar in Dragon's Dogma as well. Dragon's Dogma 2 with Bag Batal. They use a similar aesthetic. Not the same one, but it's similar. But here we have like these incense things and cloths hanging, especially this the cloths hanging from like ropes, or in this case chains, I guess to cover from the sun. Is very Middle Eastern video game designish. And as well like a bunch of carpets and stuff. But yeah, here we have the central piece, I think, where most of the people did the gesture, like what is it called, meditating, or are meditating to transcend or transform into dragons or whatever. And you can also do it in front of this dragon statue to gain the Calamity Ring. Hooray! Let's see what kind of statue this is. Is it a wyvern? It's a wyvern, right? Yeah. Where, if you don't know the difference, like wyvern, I think, has like a dragon has four feet and then 2 wings, and a wyvern has 2 legs and 2 wings, no front legs, so to speak. Like they're either walking only on 2 legs, or they're using these claws over there at this part of the transformed. It's also kind of strange, like usually if you look at bats or something, nature does this thing to where it's like where nature has like one blueprint that it's constantly changing, right? Or very it's very simplified right now, but let's say we have a bat or something. The wings are usually, you can also see on the bat wings like this one claw-like thing at the peak here. Like they have one claw-like appendage there, and the rest of the fingers, what we have as fingers, they turn into the wings. Like they create webbing between them, right, and stuff like this. But you can still, if you have a look at it, you can still see the different, like what we have as fingers being used as wing parts, as these in between parts. Like here you can see it pretty good. Like there's a bony structure behind, or inside there's a bony structure, but these apparently have more. Like, how many claws do they have on the let's call it the palm? 1, 2, 3. I count 3. So these have like 7 fingers in total, or 7 digits, which is kind of strange. But it's a video game, I guess, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, let's have a look around. We have a balcony outside, and then I can turn up the volume again. Finally. Maybe I should keep... No, I keep the music up. And here we will encounter the... Technically, it's the... like big snake dude, small snake dude, different variants of each, but I count them as one, so 2 different variants. And then technically NPC summons, which is a 3rd version. Also different NPC summons, but I count them as 1. And then the snake in the wheelchair, I call it, or with the walking aid or something. Because it looked like they have a walking aid, I should have a look at them later on as well. So 4 different creatures so far, and here we have the 5th one, then plus the boss 6th, but I don't count the boss as regular enemy, so... And here we have the next creature, and it's designed to push you over. And it's a transformed, or another different version of the crystal lizard. This one is more stony. Like, they don't have the crystals on their back, they have just stones on their back, and they're bigger and meaner, because they can actually mess you up if you're not careful. And we also have, on the upper side here, the elevator that we now can use to reach downside again. Like to get downside, like in front of the building where we were. before, and this is completely useless, I feel like, and I missed an item, I don't care. I don't care that I missed this item over there. I don't want it. Probably nothing good. Okay. Now we can proceed. Obviously this was not the final boss of this area, that would be a bit disappointing. And we have this gate here. With the Dragon Slayer Spear. Oh, we get the Dragon Slayer Spear over here. Ornstein Spear, or probably better pronounced Ornstein. Well, Ornstein. Cross spear associated with Ornstein, the Dragon Slayer, a weapon of the gods imbued with the strength of lightning. Two-handed thrust utilizes the support of the cross and requires great might, but can pierce deep into the flesh of dragons and send near man flying. And it has the lightning charge as the skill ability where you shoot a bolt of lightning out of the spear, I think. Very cool to find Ornstein's weapon over here. But yeah, this big area looks like a boss arena, and it's almost a boss arena. But yeah, let's keep going. It's kind of nice that we first see one of these alcoves or small rooms over here where I guess you can pray, or not pray, but meditate. They're not praying, they're meditating here, I think, right? But it also can be used as a ambush room. And they first show you one of these, they try to draw your attention with these enemies. Shielded enemies are usually a bit slower and defensively. So the developers want you to get impatient, and then oop, you're getting attacked by this one. Pretty cool design, I must say. Because imagine this room wouldn't be here then. I mean, you can see a glimpse of it, but what could be the case is that you're not looking at this one because you're looking at the two enemies approaching you. But yeah, so far still pretty good texture design, I would say, even though there's not much here. Like, it's a corridor, but we have these small specks of plants growing out of the corners because this place is no longer maintained, right? The people turned hollow snakes, whatever. Can these snakes turn hollow? Apparently so. And they no longer look after this place, so it slowly decays. And I really like how they, and I've said this in previous episodes as well, how they do texture in this game. Even though this could be such a boring looking area, it looks quite nice. Like, first of all, we have like weeds growing out of this thing, like plants growing, then the cloths hanging from the ceiling, I guess. I don't know why they're here inside, but they're torn, giving some texture. You can slightly see through them. Doesn't look boring. And also the stone, like the ground that you have is slightly destroyed, right? Like if the stone plates are broken, and some of them are missing, and even the walls are fairly textured. Like, you have these. First of all, you see every single brick if you look close. It's not just a flat texture. Some of them are seemingly sticking out. Maybe not here, but here, for example, some are there. It's not just a flat surface. Sometimes it's a flat surface, but then they put just a few small details in here, and it's like a drawing technique, really, right? If you're drawing something like a brick wall or something, and it's maybe not in the in the foreground so that it's not in the focus. You can get away with just drawing a few bricks here and there or indicating some bricks. You don't want to draw the whole wall, right? So they're just indicating some things. And similar here, you maybe don't want to model the whole as wall, so you're indicating just like you let some of them stick out. Many, like a lot of depth is coming from shadows that are being used, like black shadows that are being drawn on the flat surface, and then of course they have some of the stones are sticking out in some areas, and some other areas they are not sticking out. Fairly cool. What I'm again not really a fan of is this, like I would call it like construction platforms or something. I mean, it looks like a construction platform, right? Why would you have wooden platforms? Very very unsafe wooden platforms sticking on the side of your bridge or something. But the way they're being placed, like these, the carrying beams here, the carrier beams I should call them, that are sticking or that got stuck in the stone itself here. Like, how do you get them in the stone to begin with? I guess you have to dig a hole in there, like make a big hole on the side, and then stick one of those beams in. So you're actively destroying your bridge. Or maybe you just build the bridge with them in mind, but then, like, why is there no such thing? That's kind of strange. But yeah, it gives the place a bit more depth as well, having some wooden structures here and there, because the majority of this, or almost like every piece of the structure, is made out of stone, so they're using wood as a texture change, which is pretty nice. With these ropes that are hanging down, we also have the... I mean, this is probably not unique to this place, but the ropes are having a similar, or create a similar effect to these hanging cloths, because they're also hanging stuff that is, like, they're useless. So is this cloth hanging from the stone there. It's probably not a good idea to have this cloth hanging there. Imagine they would start burning because of the heat. Like, it's very dry up here, and then the sun is hitting it. They might just catch on fire. Maybe they're not. I mean, you can probably drench them in water a few times. Keep them damp or something. Also get the Thunder Stone Plate Ring here. And we can almost get into the, apparently, maybe the boss arena or whatever it is, right? Like, it looks like a boss arena with these giant statues. Oh, maybe it's one of these gargoyle fight. No, it's not, but well, it looks like it. That these statues, they certainly have a different look to the place than the other ones. This is why this is because they're destructible, but we don't know that yet. These could be enemies, right? Looks like it. You know, when you have certain objects that can be interacted with or can be destroyed, which is an interaction, to be honest, but when they're destructible, they have a different lighting to them. So maybe that's the case over here as well. Maybe these things are starting to move. Ooh. Here we have a bridge that I wouldn't use. Would you use this bridge? I mean, I'm pretty sure this beam over here would just fall. These beams are not even... Holy shit. This would just collapse very easily. I wouldn't walk over here without safety gear. Very dangerous. No. Get over here. Yay, Twinkling Titanite. 3 in total. Very impressive building. But again, very high up as every single piece of construction in this game. If there is something built that's almost, not almost, it's no, almost always very high up. Like you can't see the ground. So I think exception is like Keep, Catacombs of Carthus. Like, sure, these are catacombs, they're underground, but still, they had this huge abyss. I guess Keep is one of the only areas that isn't built very high up. Even the Cathedral of the Deep is very high up. Like, built very high up. And you have this huge verticality in there. So I wonder if you can walk inside all of these structures or if they're just solid material. Because they look solid, you don't have any windows sticking out here. Like if you look at it closer. And you don't want to have rooms that are completely shut. Or maybe you can just light candles or something. But you want to have some ventilation slits or something. I would just assume that you want to have that. So now this place. Next dragon encounter. And of course these small guys. Come on. Aren't they cute? And very annoying to fight. Probably the most dangerous enemy in the entire game. And we have a dragon looking at us, or a wyvern, I think. But I'm not one of these people who are insisting of the correct wording, because no, this is not a wyvern, this is a lindworm, or just a worm or something, I don't know. But yeah, this one, I'm pretty sure you have to fight normally. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but it's a bit smaller. Can we... no. Yeah, very... It's still the same problem. The camera's getting fucked by this thing. Not very difficult to fight, though. But we can see from the elongated neck, the small, the small dragon dudes or snake dudes that are inhabiting this place now. They have a similar long neck to these dragons, so I wonder if these are, or if these wyverns here were once people. And this is the best you can do. Like, this is the best you can do as a person. Like, people become wyverns if they're doing things correctly, I think. And then... And this is still an imitation of a... Can this thing die now, for fuck's sake? And this is just still an imitation of the ancient dragons. Because they were actual dragons. With like 6 limbs. Finally. Like two sets of feet, like 4 feet and 2 wings. Or even more wings. Was it like 4 wings as well? I can't remember. I have to look at the ancient dragon in Ash Lake again. Like, you turn into a snake when you're a loser, you turn into a goat when you're a normal person, and you turn into one of these giant wyverns if you... Or maybe it's just a process, like... Maybe it takes time, maybe the snake dudes are on the way of becoming actual wyverns in this case. Or maybe they failed, I don't know. Could be both things. Either they completely failed in their task, or it's their long process. But yeah, so far again very linear. We only had this one side path. And here with the last snake dude. This one summoning Rickard. Hooray! And we get Rickard's rapier. So let's have a look at these weird snakes. Like, they've such a weird anatomy that they need to use this walking aid, I think, to not topple over. They're also using a whip. Are they wearing a mask? Yeah. You can't actually see the feature. But they're more snake-like. Like, they look like an actual snake, not like the abomination that the other things were. So maybe these are a more advanced version. Like an overseer or something. They are also using magic, which is more sophisticated than usual weaponry. And they're using a whip, which is always a symbol of power over someone else, right? We're almost at the end right now. Almost. With the bell here, we have a bonfire over here. And now it opens up just a tiny bit. We have a summon symbol here, which is pretty cool. Hawkwood, right? Always forget his name. But yeah, before summoning him, we can have a look. And do we finally reach the arena? Nope. No, we're not. This is still not the arena. We can't open this gate. We can't get into the arena. Nothing to do here. How unfortunate. How very unfortunate. So how do I get inside then? What do I need? Maybe I need to go this path, but let's take our time. Let's go this path first, because here we have an epic encounter with one of these things. Fall down, please. Thank you. And then, what an epic moment here. This is probably, this is technically also a boss fight up here. Like, it's not, but it is one. Because here we have the one and only Habe, not the summon version, the real version this time. And he has slain a dragon, as we can see, or a wyvern. One of a different ancient wyvern, I guess. So let's fight him. And he technically has 2 phases. In phase 1, he's using his weapon one-handed. You can see when phase 2 starts. And usually this is quite the intense fight. And now it's phase 2 time. He's using the special skill of his shield and is starting to two-hand his weapon. He becomes much slower, but your weapon will bounce off sometimes. Of course it will wear off at some point, well, sadly fairly quickly. We also get the Dragon Tooth and his shield. Let's have a look at these two armaments. Dragon Tooth, where is it? There it is. Created from an everlasting dragon tooth that will never break. Pretty cool. I wonder, where's the tooth part? So it looks carved to me. Because like you would think like the upper part, the thicker part is where it's rooted in the jaw of the dragon, right? That's obviously not the pointy end. The pointy end is, well, I can show it with my mouse. Right, we can see it, yeah. This is the pointy end. So I wonder where the handle comes from. Or was it once bigger? Oh, that wouldn't really work. Maybe it was... that's strange. Like, where's the handle coming from? Let's have a look at it first. Left by Havel himself, along with his boulder-like great shield. Grants its wielder resistance to magic and fire. Pretty cool. But yeah, where's the grip coming from, I wonder? Because I'm pretty sure that these dragons don't have a tooth that is formed like this exactly. Of course, this is not an everlasting dragon, this is a wyvern here, but still... Now let's read the shield. Havel's great shield. A tremendously solid and heavy great shield, cut straight from a great slab of stone. And stone isn't really that good to use as a shield. It's probably very, very weight inefficient. Said to be a relic of the legendary Havel, the Rock, along with the Dragon Tooth. The shield is imbued with a special power reminiscent of Havel himself. And it has the skill Stoneflesh. Raises the shield in silent prayer, turning the user's body into a solid mass of stone. And it's pretty cool that it says silent prayer, because Havel was definitely versed in miracles, because he also, I think he created that, at least in Dark Souls 1, he created also Great Magic Barrier, if I'm correct. Might be wrong there, but it's only fitting that this is also a miracle type skill. Then also on this side, I think we even have Great Magic Barrier over here, right? Somewhere? Somewhere over here. Hello. Yeah, Great Magic Barrier. Let's read the spell's description. The tail, which was later interpreted as Magic Barrier, greatly increases magic damage absorption by covering the body in a strong white protective coating. Yes, said to be a tail of Havel the Rock, arch enemy of Sif the Scaleless. Havel despised magic and was never complacent and preparing means to counter it. So I was right. I actually remembered something correctly. So he hated dragons, I guess. And he hated Sif because, I don't know, Gwyn liked Sif. He was jealous. But But yeah, that's almost the area. Obviously this is the way to the boss that I'm not taking right now, because we still have the Hogwarts thing to do. So what is Hogwarts' idea here? We can see what Hogwarts' idea is. Usually you would think like, okay, summon this phantom, and then I bring this phantom to the boss, right? But there currently is no boss. So where does he want to go? We can already see it. He walks in this direction. You can't even drag him back. So let's help him fight these things before we all die. In this room there's... Ooh. As you can see, there are a bunch of enemies inside. It's like the clown car. Remember these sketches, or the skit? Is it called a skit? Whatever. Remember the funny haha thing, the clown car, where it's like a very small car, and out of the car are coming like 20 clowns or something. Yeah, that's this room is the equivalent to the clown car, because there's just so many enemies in here. He wants to go up there, but there's nothing. That's so strange. And he's going there without me, right? He keeps going there. And he does the gesture. And so are we in a short time. Here we can see a big dragon, and he's gone. We can see the big dragon over there. Let's have a look at it. Let's go into the camera thing and let's actually see how far this thing is away. Because it looks probably further away than it actually is. Because we're almost here. We can see the fog just being a flat texture. A flat rounded texture. Yeah, that's quite the big dragon. This is how Archdragon Peak looks like. Like, these mountains look so far away with the low detailed snow on them. Ooh, look at that rock formation, that looks crazy. That looks crazy. Pretty cool to see it like that. Well, let's see if it's a dragon or still a wyvern. That's the one thing that interests me right now. So this is the face. The head, I should say. This is one appendage. Oh, that doesn't look good. Do we go up like this? Right. It's kind of hard to see, but I think, yeah, this is supposed to be the wing, maybe? We see the other wing. I think this is supposed to be a real dragon. Yeah, of course, on the other side it's hollow there, sure. It's not something you're supposed to see. But yeah, no, I think this is supposed to be a... Is this supposed to be an everlasting dragon? It doesn't look like a wyvern to me, it looks like a dragon to me, so... Let's actually do the gesture here. Ta-da! Let's see what we get. Ooh, we get the Twinkling Dragon Torso Stone, which we can use to turn into a disgusting goat. Let's actually use it. Ugh. This character's ugly. Behold! The Starved Goat Demon. This looks pretty whack, to be honest. This is probably the worst dragon form in the Soul series, in my opinion. It looks like a malnourished deer or a goat demon of some sort. Like, look at that. Like, what is this? Okay, we got that lizard head going on, we got the goat horns going on, okay. And then the rest, it's just To the bones. Very malnourished. Ugh. Like, you know, the form in Dark Souls 1 looked actually muscular. This one is just like, you haven't eaten in ages. Almost death by starvation, right? And then the coolest version, at least we don't have the small little stony wings that we had in Dark Souls 1. They looked strange. But then we have the Dark Souls 2 version where you actually have like 3 eyes, like 1 eye in the middle, like in like the 3rd eye, right? And then you're wearing this golden armor. You have a solid tail. You have like, you're not malnourished. You look muscular. And then you have this. Like what? The jump from like the dragon version jump from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2 was huge. Dark Souls 1 looked cool, still kind of strange, but looked cool. Dark Souls 2 was like, what the fuck? That looks amazing. And Dark Souls 3 is like, what the fuck? Huh? And why do we have this stupid rope around the waist? It's not even a waistcloth anymore. Apparently, there's not even genitalia left. Like, what the fuck? I mean, sure, you can't... In the dragon form, you can't procreate. Okay, I get that, I get that. But you can't even take a shit or piss. Like, how do you digest things? Oh, that's actually pretty efficient. Everything you eat, you turn into energy 100%. No waste. I guess they're just that efficient. But still, they look like malnourished as fuck, so... Huh? I would expect them to look a bit more muscular. But I wanted the cool dragon armor back from Dark Souls 2. That looked amazing. We have the Dragon Chaser's Ashes over here, so let's read that. Umbral Ash of the fallen warrior who chose the path of the ancient dragons. With this, the shrine handmaid will prepare new items. Whatever it is sure to grant strength to the most unrelenting warriors. Okay, whatever. Boss fight time, I guess. But technically not really. I don't need to fight the boss yet. We can do it later. A bit later. I think there's still one small thing to do, and we can also do this. That's pretty cool. This is how we use dragon magic, so to speak. Let's get rid of this shit. Put this in here, put this in here, and put this in here as well. Like this, okay. Now the dragon torso, what is it called? Twinkling dragon torso stone is doing that. The normal torso stone is doing this roar that buffs us. So if I get rid of the ring, this one shouldn't buff. Oh no, this should. Okay, this buffs as well. Okay. Let's wait until it's gone. This one is only the buff, and then the headstone. This looks so stupid. The hand gesture, I mean. And the broad stance. Why do you have to use the hands like this? But yeah. And then there's also the big version that we don't have yet. I wonder where we get that from. Foreshadowing. Let's actually use these things. Maybe only this and that one. Yeah. And then put on the... Nope. can't wear clothing. Huh? Where is it? There we go. Why do I still have these rings on? That's unnecessary. Let's put on that one and maybe some poking action or something, I don't know. More damage. Let's go back to the Firelink Shrine and show all of the NPCs what we've become. Sadly, they don't react to that, which is unfortunate. But I think, maybe now or after the boss, but I think now is the time. We can, first of all, I missed that, let's give Orbeck the scroll. Hello.
Back again, I see. Perfect timing to...
There you go, the final thing.
Unfathomable. This is a crystal sorcery.
Yes.
Created by the Pale Dragon.
Yes.
Thought only to exist in legend.
No.
I am ever grateful to you. This is truly sublime. I am afraid this is a debt I cannot repay. Only, I will be sure to unravel it for you. Just a moment.
Okay. Homing Crystal Soulmass, not really homing. Crystal Soul Spear, more homing than the Crystal Soulmass even. And Crystal Magic, weapon thingy, whatever.
In Vinheim, I was an assassin.
Yes, I know.
A sorcerer only in name. A killer for hire. What a fool I was, thinking one day I would learn real sorceries. When I became undead, I was exiled from the school. But here I am, now, exploring the depths of sorcery. All thanks to you, I might add.
Pretty cool, right?
You are no ordinary man.
No, I'm a goat.
All these sorceries, and you've mastered every one. If this were the Dragon School, you'd be, well, overtly despised and banished from the place. Well, I suppose it's time I packed my bags. I would hate to see our agreement end sourly. Better left, tucked away, as a pleasant memory. You are no ordinary. I promised it's been...
Okay, goodbye. Nothing to do here. But yeah, now you can see what the Dragon School is really like. If you're a too good student, then be gone. Everyone is jealous. Or maybe afraid of you. I mean, there's certainly a lot of harmful magic and not as much helpful magic or supportive magic.
Gracious, let this... I only...
Yeah, you're saying nothing new. Let's see, what can we buy here? Let's even see if I can make it out. We can buy Lorien stuff, right? Because we've killed him. Lothric stuff we already have. Faram, I don't know, nothing new maybe. Upgrade material, sure. Is it only the upgrade material? It's kind of boring. But yeah, Hawkwood is gone. Still gone. Let's talk to him.
Oh, you've returned.
Yes.
I was hoping to see you. That crestfallen ass Hawkwood, he handed me this. He's changed a great deal since he left this place. Graven of face, he asked me to give it ye.
Hogwarts Swordgrass.
Well, now that task is concluded, what would you have me smith today?
Nothing.
Pretty big, I don't want.
Let's read his message. Bloodstained Swordgrass of Hogwood. Deserter of the Undead Legion. Traditionally, the Undead Legion of Farron sends the gravest of messages using swordgrass. Come to the mausoleum in Farron. Only one can take the path of the ancient dragons. Okay. Let's not use this one. Let's use this one. So we are not teleporting right into him. I don't know if it has anything to do. Maybe. Nah. Let's teleport right into there. Probably they thought of this, surely. Let's get right into the thing. There he is. Sure. Yeah, of course. Like, he's facing this way. For some reason I thought he was closer.
I should have known. Well, I've decided to stop running from my fate. Loathe me all you like. I shall take what makes you dragon.
And he's using his sword now. Finally.
You are a dragon. More dragon than I.
Unfortunate. For some reason he really likes goats. Can't blame him. Oh, maybe I can. I don't know. I'm not that big of a goat fan. Especially not if I expected to become a dragon. I become a goat demon. A malnourished goat demon on top of that. But yeah. Only one thing to do. Toll the bell. And you might want to put on some hearing protection with that. That's quite a big bell. It's going to be loud as hell. But let's do it anyway. Bing bong. Spin the wheel. Still time to... Oh, it's very loud. Oh, that's not that loud. Oh, you're covering your ears, that's good. Oh no, you don't. Or no. No, you're not. Just covering the eyes from the storm. Ooh, now we have this awesome thing. This is so sick. We're in the eye of the storm. Let's have a look at this. Free cam time. Well, not in this direction, but I want to see. I want to have a look at this storm. Oh, it's already gone here. Aww. Okay, the arena is engulfed in it. Why can't I see it in the other direction? Isn't this... This isn't loaded in? Now it is. It's kind of weird. I clearly see something over there now. Oh. Or is it like a camera effect? No, it's not. It's not just in front of the camera, otherwise this would look differently. No, I don't want to fly out that far. not that interesting to waste some time on that. Still kind of strange how these clouds just phase through the stone. But I get it, you don't want to add extra dynamics in there. But yeah, we can walk on the clouds. Woo, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So let's enter the arena. Ooh, and there he comes. A wyvern. Like the wyvern is the king of storm. The storm king, whatever. Ooh, screenshot time. Sorry about your dragon. You attacked me first though. Ooh, and the Nameless King. With probably the coolest weapon in the entire game. At least my favorite one. Maybe. And also pretty cool soundtrack, but I must say this is not the most memorable soundtrack in my opinion. It's fitting though. This is probably one of the better boss fights as well. Not my favorite one, I think this is already... Oh, there are many different good boss fights. Let's have a look at his attacks while we're at it. The dragon is kind of boring, but this one... pretty cool attacks. Luckily no second phase to it. Or is there a second phase to the second phase? Probably not, right? Soul of the Nameless King. Very nice. Goodbye, Storm. Ooh, the bell is ringing once again. The lighting looks kind of strange on the building behind the bell. Bing bong. Very windy again. And it's gone. Hooray, we did it. Oh, that looks great too. It's also a cool screenshot. But let's read the soul of the nameless king, shall we? Said to be Gwyn's firstborn, right? The nameless king was once a dragon-slaying god of war before he sacrificed everything to ally himself with the ancient dragons. Pretty cool, like why even fight? Why not just be allies? I mean, the ancient dragons are just chilling, right? Then Gwyn said, no, fuck him up, or something, I don't know. It feels like Gwyn was the aggressor. I mean, it could have just built around the dragons or something, I don't know. Then we get a Titanite slab, quite a few here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Also indicating that this is a, like the final area. Not a final area, a late game area. Don't we have something to gain from here? There's something left? Oh yeah, there it is. Kind of on a random position, just floating here. We get the Dragon Slayer armor, the armor of Ornstein. I can't use it, right? Let's read the... where is it? There it is. The Dragon Slayer armor. Golden line armor associated with Dragon Slayer Ornstein from the Age of Gods, and imbued with the strength of lightning. In the Dragonless Age, this knight, who long guarded the ruined cathedral, left the land in search of the nameless king, probably to slay him. Probably, I say. But yeah, he lost. I think. Yeah, obviously he lost. Like, there's no Ornstein here. And the nameless king is left. Pretty cool fight. Not the best music in my opinion. Fitting. Not my favorite. But definitely one of the better boss fights. Actually, what is my favorite boss fight? I probably had my favorite boss fight already, but... like, Abyss Watchers are cool. Like, there are many good boss fights in this game, to be honest. Like, even Deacons of the Deep is kind of fun, even though they are not really a boss fight. It's like Dark Souls 3 version of the Undead Communion or whatever it's called, like from Dark Souls 2, this chapel in Brightstone Cove where we have a prowling magus and just a few hollows. But even that was 1,000 times better. Like, Deacons of the Deep is a fun boss fight. Even though they're just regular enemies, still fun. At least for me. But yeah, we are already through this area. For some reason I thought I had to do it in 2 parts, but it's manageable. It's not that long. The highlight is obviously the boss fight at the end. You're supposed to take a bit longer with that, but yeah, of course, if you can't take damage, then it's going to be quick. But I'm not here to show skill, I'm here to show level design. And maybe a bit world design. Luckily, in this area, I don't have that much to talk about the world design, because it seems pretty good. Like, yeah, sure, maybe a few missing structures, like, again, a kitchen and a place where you can sleep, like the barracks or something, I don't know. Some more infrastructure, like stuff that you would expect a monastery of some sort to have, because this is very reminiscent to a monastery. Definitely has a similar purpose, right? But you would still have something where you could sleep, where you could eat, where you, like, basic stuff. Some sanitary area, like a toilet, and maybe like a bath or something. Like, a bath would fit in this area pretty well, I should say. What I don't really like is the straightforwardness of this area. It's extremely linear. There are just a few side paths and they're not that deep. It's a bit... I mean, it's straightforward. It's extremely straightforward, and I wish it was a bit more complex, because it's a pretty cool area. Again, like every area, I wish for more enemy diversity, but how much diversity, how many different enemy types is too many? It's too much, right? Maybe one or two more, I don't know. But it's a good area. It's definitely a above average area, I should say. But is there even a below average area in this? I would say like the smoldering lake, the lake part. The lake part of the smoldering lake is subpar or below average, just because of the stupid ballista and because the only enemy type in the lake are a bunch of big giant crabs, and the worm could be much cooler. A much bigger menace, making you afraid to enter the lake. That would be so cool, but no. It's just in one position, and you still have this ballista, so you can't enjoy that place. I don't know. This might be the only subpar area in the entire game. Maybe I already like forgot about a even worse experience than that. I mean, yeah, poison swamps are not that fun, but Farron keeps poison swamp was well designed. Right, the King's Gardens are also very boring. I would say they're subpar as well. Probably even worse than... Or is it? Nah, the smoldering lake is still worse. The lake part, just because of the ballista. Keep that in mind, the area looks better than the garden. The idea behind that area is cooler. The garden looks like shit. And the garden plays like shit. But so does the smoldering lake. But yeah, we're talking about this area, and this is a above average area for sure. And not the best one, but also not by far not the worst one. But yeah, very linear. One of the cooler boss fights. I still don't know which is my favorite boss fight. Probably like the regular boss, end boss of the game. Because it's not too difficult, it's still challenging, it's not too difficult, it's a fun fight. This is also a fun fight, but a bit more challenging than the final boss, I would say. Definitely more challenging. I also like Lothric and Lorien is also a very fun fight. For some reason I suck at this fight now, because just recently I started... I say recently, but it's already been 1.5 months or so when I started playing doing a Dark Souls 3 playthrough, like off recording or something, while I'm not recording, just because I wanted to, and like all of the sudden I sucked at Lorien and Lothric. I had such big problems, and when I played this game for real, like when it came out and such, like the time after that, I was pretty good at that boss fight. I would never die, and I still took damage, but I would never die. And now, like, holy shit, I suck at that fight. I don't know. Probably because I'm getting older. Oh no. I'm so old with 27, by the way. So old, oh no. Oh, yeah, whatever. Pretty cool area. Pretty enjoyable. Could be more complex. It's my final verdict. And maybe 1 or 2 more enemy types. But other than that, pretty fun. Is there something to do? Right, there is something to do. Reading the item descriptions of the weapons you can craft. And technically also of the armor. Right, should have done this before this small useless rant right here, but kind of forgot about it, to be honest. Hello.
Aha, so
First of all, we got Lightning Storm. Strangely a miracle that he never used. But pretty cool nonetheless. A miracle of the Nameless King, allied to the Ancient Dragons, calls forth furious bolts of lightning, which is like, okay. It's like you're raising your talisman, lightning strikes you, and from your position outward in an AoE around yourself, like the lightning bolts fly. I guess he does it somewhat, but not really. Where is his weapon? There, one of the cooler weapons in the entire game. A dragon hunting weapon from the Age of the Gods. The earliest form of the cross spear, serving as both sword and spear. I would almost prefer this weapon over Ornstein's spear. But yeah. Its owner was the Nameless King, and deific. What? Deific? Its owner was the Nameless King and deific hunter of dragons. The sword spear is imbued with lightning, of which he was the heir. He was the heir of lightning, so yeah, sure. Which leads to believe that he is this, or a son of Gwyn. Because Gwyn is he's the father of lightning. Right? He created lightning, he used lightning as the first. And this one is the heir, or was the heir. But yeah.
I took them at you.
Don't care. Again, don't talk to me. Just do the weapon thingies. Ludleth.
Ah,
Is he called Ludleth? Is that even his name? There we go. And oh, that's not much. Dragon scale armor of a nameless king who was allied to the ancient rings. Dragon scales are razor sharp and cannot be burned. Oh, now it's getting interesting. Crown of the nameless king who was allied. Yeah. The golden crown, buried amidst long strands of bristling ash, is said to closely resemble that of the First Lord. Yeah, if we ever look at the picture, the crown part without the hair, or bristling ash, I guess, looks like Gwyn's crown. Then we have the golden bracelets. Bracelets of the name, yeah, okay. These golden bracelets, together with the golden breastplate and crown, are said to closely resemble those of the First Lord. And this says the exactly same thing as one again. Okay.
Ashen one.
Weird that the armor piece has no real lore description, whatever. But this was Archdragon Peak. Let me know what you think about this area, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.